Welcome to episode number 97 of the Beyond Social Media Show, the podcast for marketing, advertising, public relations, and communications professionals. We are recording live on Google Hangouts on air on May 23rd, 2015. My name is David Erickson. I'm your co-host. I'm with my co-host, B.L. Ochman, and we got a lot of talkability today in worst stories. Racists react to Obama online. We've got a PR pitch from hell. In the best category, we have POTUS tweets, Google dates Twitter, social networks getting social, stamping on money, and diversifying Spotify. We got some shiny new stuff about Google Plus collections, auto-suggesting the news, and Jurassic Park. We'll wrap it up with some stats about Taylor Swift. But first, we have the worst, and BL usually has the honors, but I'm stealing it from her this week, so I'm going to go with the worst, and that is the reaction to President Obama joining Twitter. This is from an article by this new civil rights movement blog post. Actually, David Badash, it's a nice name. Badash is the reporter. And 10 minutes, it's 10 minutes after the president officially announced he joined Twitter, the hate started pouring in. N-words started flying freely. It's just horrible, the catalog that he has on this blog post of how people reacted to the president joining Twitter. Jeff Gully 49 is one of the accounts. Had a stylized image of Obama using the Hope poster theme, with president with apparent broken neck and a noose hanging around his neck, with the caption reading "rope." Embarrassingly, this account was from List, Minnesota as its location. So that's an example. I hope the FBI is after these people, because that seems like that's
disgusting.
Absolutely. And then another related story. There's a Google bomb in Google Maps. So if you remember Google bombs, it was the practice of a bunch of people linking to a website using the same anchor text. The classic example was people linking to George Bush's official biography on the White House site using the words "miserable failure." So when you search Google for "miserable failure," that page would be the top of the rank at the top of the list. Google fixed that. They put a fix so you can't Google bomb anymore, but they didn't account for it in Google Maps. And so what's happening now in Google Maps, this is from a Search Engine Land article by SEO guru Danny Sullivan. When you search N-word house in Google Maps, you get the White House. So people are Google bombing Google Maps in a way. I don't know that it's necessarily intentional Google bombing, in as much as Google's algorithm picking up references to N-word house and also referring to the White House at the same time. So its algorithm is not accounting for this racist language. They say they're working on a fix. So we'll see how that rolls out. But rather disgusting. Though, POTUS joins Twitter. So the president joined Twitter, which was pretty cool. He not surprisingly immediately amassed a huge following. 6 tweets so far, one of which responded to Bill Clinton. So Bill Clinton asked if the POTUS handle, POTUS, by the way, if you don't know, is President of the United States. So that's what it's an acronym for President of the United States. So Bill Clinton asked if the POTUS handle comes with the office, and the president responded, "Good question, Bill Clinton. The handle comes with the house. Know anyone interested in FLOTUS?" So FLOTUS is FLOTUS, First Lady of the United States.
Right, but Clinton on his had hashtag asking for a friend.
That's right. The deal that Twitter had with Google in past broadcasts, that they have done a deal with Google to provide the fire hose of data for tweets directly to Google. They had a similar deal in place in 2008, 2009, 2010-ish, and used to display real-time search results based on tweets. So now they're starting to roll it out. Twitter announced that tweets are going live now on mobile first. So if you do mobile searches through either the Google app or on mobile web, you will occasionally come across tweets embedded in the search results. So I did a search for our agency, public relations agency, and our tweets showed up there. They show up in a carousel, so you can swipe through them on the mobile device. And if you tap on the links in the tweets, it will bring you to that link on the web. They're rolling out for trending tweets. So if trending topics, you'll see search results. Sometimes they'll appear at the top of the search results page. Sometimes they'll appear in the middle of the search results page, and sometimes they'll appear at the bottom. So I think for like brand stuff for our agency, I did a brand search for our agency, and the tweet showed up, the carousel of tweets showed up at the bottom. For trending stuff, I imagine it's going to show up at the top of the search results because it's more relevant.
It is, and that will happen if there's still an echo. That will happen if there is somebody searching and it's news. You're going to come up on the top, and that's going to be very significant for agencies, for individuals, for everybody. So if you're not participating in Twitter at this point in time, you better start thinking seriously about how you're going to do it and what you're going to say. And, you know, this is going to make staying current more important than it's ever been, which is really an enormous development in the end effect, you know? So the other thing
Twitter,
that
let me add to that. Twitter, I mean, Twitter has always been a huge public relations tool, and it is only more so now with the inclusion of it in tweets, especially for breaking news or for news stories that are about your company, but also the way that Twitter is changing. They're trying to extend the reach of tweets beyond those who are logged in. So now they have the homepage that they designed for people who haven't got a Twitter account, so that those people can see tweets. This is along the same lines in search. And you're also seeing it with tools like they have a curate tool that they're offering to publishers to try and get them to include tweets in their broadcast, in their coverage online and everything. So they're really trying to extend the reach of tweets beyond those who are using Twitter actively.
The other thing that changed on my stream this week was the analytics improved immensely, and it will now show you the reach of your tweet and a lot of statistics about each of your tweets and who engaged with them. And that is a vast improvement over what their analytics were before. So brands that aren't paying attention to Twitter are going to pay a penalty. And you know what? I'm not selling my 10 shares of Twitter.
Yeah, well, you can activate those analytics too by opening up an advertising account. Basically, you don't have to pay for any advertising. Just activating your advertising will enable those analytics for you. Yeah,
because mine activated itself.
If you don't see the analytics yet, then you can enable them just by opening up an ad account.
I think that's pretty significant. The other thing that happened this week that I thought was pretty wonderful. No matter which party you support in politics, and you have to admit that there's just too much money in politics, and on both sides now, they're talking about raising billions of dollars for the presidential campaigns, and it's just gotten completely ridiculous, and it means that the system is awash in political spending. And, you know, it's proof that the richest people are controlling the political system, and this has to stop. In Britain, for example, there is no political advertising on television. Why we have to suffer through it is beyond me. But Move On took an action this week, and I got an email from Ben Cohn of Ben & Jerry's. And he said, you know, most of the time I talk about ice cream, but today I'm talking about something that left a foul taste in my mouth, and that's money in politics. So if you contributed $10 or more on Move On, they will send you a stamp that says "Stamp out big money in politics," that you can stamp legally onto money. And I don't know about you, but when I see a phone number or a number or something written on a dollar bill, I pay attention to it. And, you know, I think it's time for us to speak up about this, because this is something that is taking, the power is gone from the people, that's for sure. And, you know, the 1% are running politics. It's wrong.
Well, I mean, I think it's hard. You're denying reality if you think that the amount of money in the political system isn't buying influence. I mean, the typical framing of the argument is it's getting access. Well, getting access is influence. I'm sorry, but you know, So.
Well, I mean, we could have a political discussion, although we agreed we don't want to do that, and about why we only have old people running for office, I mean, on either side. It's kind of sad. But anyway, let's go into other news. There's a campaign again on Twitter this week by an organization called Women in Distress, and they launched a campaign directly on Tinder. And what they did was, it was to raise awareness of violence against women. And the source of this story is something called Relationships A+, and the reporter is named Jordan Zaslow. And what this is they created fake profiles of men whose primary pictures made them seem like they were sweet and handsome, but they became increasingly violent and angry with each stripe. And as this went along, they finally saw a message that said even the most promising of relationships can get ugly in an instant. Although these profiles are fake, they're based on real men who may seem wonderful and gentle until they aren't. And I think that's a really phenomenal way to bring a message home, because it's right in the app. It's not a campaign on the internet. It's right there where you're swiping, or not me, but you maybe are swiping. Somebody's swiping. Millions of people are swiping.
Is this? I mean, what's the message of? The message of this is just be careful about who you're interacting with.
Yes, exactly. And also, like, just be careful. Be careful about the details you give away about yourself. Be careful about where you meet with people. Be careful, be careful, be careful. And, there's a tremendous problem in this area. I mean, too many women experience, unfortunately, violence.
Yeah.
So in terms of
wise advice for anyone.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
You have to be careful about what you put online. You have to be careful about where you're meeting people that you don't know. I mean,
it's sort of hard to imagine why you wouldn't be, but a lot of people aren't. So that brings us to shiny new objects.
Now I got one more good story before we go on to shiny objects.
Go ahead.
Spotify is diversifying. They have now they're adding videos and podcasts to the mix of music they already have. It's a good thing for Spotify because they had lost some big name music stars. Taylor Swift pulled her music off of Spotify. I think Jay-Z did as well. This is from a story on The Verge by Chris Welsh. And basically, they're doing expansion through partnerships. Right now, it's just the big boys. So their partners are the likes of ABC, NBC, BBC, Comedy Central, ESPN, MTV, TAD, Vice. Hopefully, they'll roll that out. I'd looked to see if there's a way we can submit podcasts. I think it'd be wise for them to open it up for everyone, so that the more content you can find, the better. But as yet, no. So we'll see.
What a good idea. Speaking of Taylor Swift, this week there was a campaign to try and reach Taylor Swift. I'm sorry, I don't have the little girl's name, but it was a little girl who was hit by a car, and she was like the world's biggest Taylor Swift fan. And they've been trying to get the attention of Taylor Swift to remember this little girl who her family donated her corneas and other body parts to help other people. And it was just a really sweet thing. And I hope Taylor's going to pay attention, because
I would be shocked if she doesn't. She's pretty damn good about that kind of stuff. And I would be so far.
So the other thing that I saw is that CircleCount, which is a terrific app for monitoring Google+, is now monitoring collections, and you can search for collections on CircleCount. Take a look at it, circlecount.com. It's a really terrific app to use for Google+. And Dave, I would like you to tell us what you were doing with Dinosaurs this week.
So I got a new phone. I got my girlfriend got me the iPhone 6 Plus, which is awesome. It's fantastic. It's not really a one-handed phone though. You can't. It's hard to check your email on this big phone while you got a coffee in the other hand. But it's fantastic. So I'm downloading new apps and stuff and playing around with it. And I came across a Jurassic World Movie Maker app. And this is, as you might imagine, an app for the new upcoming Jurassic Park film. And it allows you to take a photo or a video of whatever you want to and place a patasaur, a pterosaur, or a raptor in your video or phone or photo. So and then you can post that to social channels. So I did on the bus ride home from work on Friday. I just shot the scenery, which was unremarkable, and placed a pterodactyl swooping in through that scene, which made it remarkable and super cool. And very, very, very smart marketing idea for the movie too, because it's irresistible. People are going to share it, and it makes any photo very cool. So people comment on it. You get a lot of social traction out of that. The other thing that I wanted to mention, this has been around forever, but I haven't ever mentioned it on the show, so I thought I should. You all know about Google Suggest. When you type in your search terms in Google, it has a drop-down list of suggested search-related
From the
search
little
terms.
L's in the background, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a quick way of doing keyword research. But there's also Google Autosuggest for news. So if you go to news.google.com and type in your searches in there, it's the same function, but it's related to what people are searching for news. And so you're going to get the different types of searches. So it's a good way of researching for PR people, especially what types of searches people are using specifically for news.
I like that. So that brings us to projects.
Projects, yes. You got a few here.
Well, I have a guest post on a client blog, innovair.com, which is about the secret to search optimizing your videos on YouTube if you're a nonprofit, and or anybody for that matter, really. I mean, people don't use the best feature that YouTube has, which is that it allows you approximately 800 words in the description, which of course you can search optimize. Plus you can have up to 20 tags. And I kind of think the tags might be more important than the content in the description, but I looked at some of the biggest nonprofits and they are not using this feature. And that's just a shame. That will really help you in search on YouTube. And YouTube is the second biggest search engine on the planet, so something you wouldn't want to ignore.
Yeah, I'm continually shocked at how often I see, and it's not just nonprofits, major corporations who are using YouTube and uploading their titles are video 07653 whatever, and they're not optimizing their videos for search at all. And
not at all. No, most don't do it at all. Most have like one-sentence descriptions, and they don't put links in, and it's really quite remarkable because YouTube gets better and better for brands all the time, and it just proves how many people really should be hiring us, Dave.
Exactly. Yes. So I've got an article I was quoted in on CIO, 9 Ways to Bolster Public Relations and Media Outreach. I passed along 3, and the reporter used 1. So I wrote another blog post that included the other 2, which is on our agency blog. So you've got 9 plus you've got 12 or 11 or 12 tips you can choose from. We'll put links in the show notes for you to check those out. And then my other project was nextavenue.org, which is a PBS site devoted to baby boomers, and it's a lifestyle site for baby boomers. Fantastic content on it. They just did a redesign. They just launched their site after a redesign, for which I did some consulting for SEO work on the site. And it's beautiful design, mobilely responsive. They did a fantastic job. It's a great resource for baby boomer lifestyle content. So check that out too.
So that brings us to the daily numbers.
Right. So this is short and swift. Taylor Swift had her. We talked about her marketing for her music video, teasing her music video that was going to premiere on the Billboard Awards. Well, she released the music video for Bad Blood, and it quickly went up the charts. 20.1 million views in just 24 hours, according to Entertainment Weekly. That set a new Vivo record. The record was previously held by Nicki Minaj, formerly held by her for her song Anaconda back in August 2014 with 19.6 million views. So Taylor Swift, amazing marketing person in addition to a musician. did a great job of teasing that video. Had lots of celebrities in the video and used them to great effect with those posters. So
She's an industry. I mean, she has
Yes.
Taylor Nation, and she has her web store, and she has more people on her team. I was one of them when I worked at Burson, and it's a pretty amazing backstory on how her marketing happens. It's great stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
that brings us to the end of the truncated Beyond Social Media, number 97. Just in case I still have an echo, Dave, can you take us out?
I can. Thanks for watching episode 97. We'll have links to all the stuff that we talked about on the blog at beyondsocialmediashow.com/97. Let us know what you think. If you like the show, leave us a review. If you don't like the show, leave us a review. We want to hear what you have to say. You can do that on beyondsocialmediashow.com/love. I am David Erickson. You can find me on Twitter at @DErickson. My blog is e-strategyblog.com. I also blog at my agency's blog, creativepr.com/blog. You can find on Twitter at What's Next. Her blog is what'snextblog.com. She writes for Ad Age as well, and she is the CEO of Maximum Plus, where you can hire her for all things Google Plus and video marketing. You can find us on the show at beyondsocialmediashow.com. We're on Twitter at BS Media Show. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/beyondsocialmediashow or BS Media Show, or I don't even remember, but we're on Facebook. If you search for us, you can find us there. Subscribe to our email newsletter so you don't miss the podcast. It's a weekly show. It's a weekly newsletter. You get exclusive content, stuff that we haven't been able to talk about. So you can subscribe to the newsletter at beyondsocialmediashow.com/newsletter. And thank you for watching. Until next week.
Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a long one.